NoRecipeRequired. I'm Dave, and today I'm going to show you how to make a version of chili. Now, I say a version because there's thousands of different types of chilies out there, right? There's as many chili recipes as there are cooks. This one is a chili con carne, chili with meat, and you know, it's pretty simple, pretty basic to make, but it's super delicious. I'd say my one secret ingredient comes from my Vermont days, UVM days, where I add in a little bit of maple syrup to kind of sweeten it up just a little tiny bit, and it's absolutely awesome. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with our chili. A little bit of olive oil in the pan, and I'm gonna go with ground beef for my chili. I've got like probably a good 3 pounds or so of ground beef. Now, I play really kind of fast and loose with my chili recipes. I don't follow a whole lot of rules. You know, I'm using ground beef, I've used ground pork, ground turkey, anything you want. The key really is just get the meat in the pan, a little bit of oil to start it off with, and just get it nicely browned in there and cooked all the way through. Okay, so for our chili today, we are going to roast a pasilla pepper. Now, roasting pepper, really simple to do. That is about all you need to do. Just let it just kind of toast over the flame there. I'm not looking to get it super dark, so I'm not going to let the skin get totally black, but you absolutely could do that. I'm just going to let it go, you know, probably 3 or 4 minutes, rotating, you know, every 30 seconds or so, and just get the outside a little bit charred. Okay, so my my beef is pretty much fully browned, and I just I tipped the pan. There's not a ton of fat in there. I just tipped it to one side, used a spoon to pull it all, or not all the fat, but you know, get good 60, 70, 80% of the fat out, especially if it is real fatty. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add some vegetables. I've got an onion, actually 2 onions, diced up. I've got our chili pepper that we toasted off. I've got a little bit of celery and some garlic. I'm just going to let these all kind of cook together until the vegetables are soft. So my onions and the other vegetables have been in for about 10 minutes or so. I can see they are getting nicely translucent. And we're going to add the first of our tomato. I like to add a good can of tomato paste. And you know, this is obviously, it's reduced down, it's very smooth in texture, and this gives the chili quite a bit of body. What I like to do is kind of toast it off first. And you know, the way you do that is just in, you know, essentially the dry pan. By dry, I mean no other liquids in there, no other tomatoes. We're just going to stir that in and let it all kind of mix and mingle, and then cook. Obviously, it evaporates more and concentrates the flavor and really adds a little bit more complexity. Once that goes for a few minutes, we would add our spices. Now, I use kind of a bunch of different ones. Obviously, I don't measure real carefully. That was some paprika. This is chipotle chili powder. This is cumin powder. Ooh, that's not coming out fast enough. Cumin is a really important one, I find. I like a good, healthy, probably tablespoon in there. And I'm gonna throw a couple others in there after a bit. Some bay leaves, some other herbs. I like to get the dry spices in so that they also have a chance to toast and kind of develop their flavors. I've let the tomato paste toast now, and the spices toast for a good 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Just put salt and pepper in there. I forgot to add in maybe the most important ingredient, chili powder, which I absolutely love in there. Ideally, you know, I just forgot it. No reason why you wouldn't add that a few minutes ago with the other spices. If you do forget something, it's not a big deal, right? So once all those have cooked down for a few minutes, I'm going to add a couple cans of tomato. And I'm using tomato kind of puree, crushed tomatoes. If you want to use a chunkier kind, that's absolutely doable. You know, it's really just a matter of preference. You want nice smooth tomato consistency there, or do you want chunks of tomato? I'm also going to add a can of beef broth, and actually I'm going to fill that up with water one more time and get it just a little bit soupier in there, because it's going to evaporate as it cooks. Chilies, I love them cooked for 4 or 5 hours, and definitely needs a little liquid in there. Even if it's water, if it's a beer, wine, almost anything, you know, you can put in there personalize it, make your own. Just gonna bring this up to a simmer and let it go for, like I said, a few hours. I've let my chili go for a couple hours now, probably 2 hours, and I'm just gonna add a 1 can of beans. I don't like a ton of beans in my chili, but I do like them in there. And I drained them off. You know, if that syrup that they come in, I don't think is really any good. Then I encourage you to figure out kind of an X factor. My little X factor here is some maple syrup, which you know, obviously sweetens up the chili, gives it kind of a weird you know, background flavor. You won't even really tell, oh, that's maple syrup, but it's very, very cool. I'm gonna let this go for another hour and a half. You really can't overcook it. All right, you can let your chili cook, you know, frankly, for as long as you want. This is a great, like, slow cooker recipe. I just had mine on low. I've been going probably 4.5 hours. Let's serve it up. Okay, let's go ahead and serve up our delicious little chili. Stack it high and deep in a bowl. I love serving mine with like tortilla chips or crackers on the side. I garnish it with some cheese. And, you know, you can almost throw anything you want on there. I've got some green onions as well. I'm going to throw on. And we've got the perfect bowl of chili. I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required.